Hello, resource partners and supporters of Mission Increase Inland Valleys. I wanted to give you a quick update on what's been going on these last few months, and a lot's been going on, as you can imagine. This has been a crazy time for nonprofit ministries, and so while some people have been not working or working less, I have been busier than ever, just meeting the needs of the ministry leaders that we work with. Mission Increase created materials specifically for this time during the shutdown of COVID-19. And so I've been teaching workshops, mini workshops, and doing a lot of coaching. The first workshop I did in April was on fundraising in uncertain times and just specific to times of crisis and how to reach out to donors. And those were really great workshops. I did 3 of them and they were all full with ministry leaders. So I really knew everybody was really reaching for information at that time. That was in April. I also did 3 mini workshops that came off of that big workshop. One on short-term strategic planning. How do you pivot and change? What do you do with your budget? How do you change your organizational structure? How do you look at your financing in a different way? And so I did a mini session on that. I did a mini session on case for support, which is messaging. How to message to your supporters that, hey, things have changed, but we're still doing the same good work that God has sent us to do. And then the third mini workshop that I did was alternative to live events. Unfortunately, many organizations have had to cancel events during this time, and so we've encouraged people to do virtual events, and so we provided concrete materials and examples for people that were going to do alternative to live events, so events on Zoom or on Facebook Live or on Instagram Live, YouTube. And so I walked through that process. I did a lot of coaching during this time as well, one-on-one with organizations. Several in these live events. I actually joined an event committee of Oak Valley College to work on their virtual live event together. And then a lot of the coaching that I've done mostly has been on messaging to people, how the changes are happening, how they're affecting the organization, but how they're still moving forward. So I'm happy to say most of the organizations that I've worked with really are stable. There are a few that have lost some funding and they have some concerns moving forward, and we're looking at where that funding might be able to come from in the future. But the majority of these leaders are stable and really looking to God to fill their needs during this time. And actually, some of them have really even encouraged me with their faithfulness during this time. And then we have some organizations that have really flourished during this time. As you can imagine, food banks with their increase of food insecurity in the nation, a lot of people have been giving to these organizations. So that's kind of overall what I'm seeing with the nonprofit ministries. Where we're at right now, we have 132 nonprofit ministries signed up with Mission Increase Inland Valleys. That is in our 3 teaching areas. So the Temecula-Murrieta area, the Riverside, Corona, San Bernardino area, and then also the Coachella Valley. So we have 132 ministries that span across Riverside and San Bernardino counties. So what's going on right now, I just finished a workshop just last week on live in-person events. This was based on Mission Increase's event manual that was from 20 years ago that Ron Post and his wife created this manual. I actually saw the original manual in a 3-ring binder, but this is the new edition that came out for our 20th anniversary. And so I taught 6 workshops last week, 3 of them on Zoom, 3 in person. Had a great turnout. And this is where we talk about, okay, things are going to open up. What are you going to do for your in-person events? As some of you may know, I was a fundraising event person at UC Davis for 7 years. So I have a background in this area. And I have to say, I am so impressed with this model that Mission Increase has. It really is a great model for these ministry leaders to follow. And then we have great success stories from across the country with our fundraising event manual. And then I'm preparing a new workshop for July on building a sustainable monthly giving program. Every single nonprofit out there needs a healthy monthly giving program. And so if you have organizations that you know of that you would like me to work with, let me know. I would love to work with them. Also, in the next workshops coming up in the next year, I would love to invite some of you to come at different workshops and introduce yourselves and tell a little bit about your story. I would love for the ministry leaders to meet you. I think about this all the time, and I tell Andy, I feel so bad that sometimes I'm the one that gets to hear all the thanks from these ministries. And many of them ask me to pass on to you how thankful they are that you've provided this service for them. They are aware that if they were to hire a fundraising consultant, it would cost them thousands. And you make this possible for them. So they are very, very grateful. And I'm very grateful that you've provided this work as well. And I get to see these ministry leaders flourish and the light bulbs go on and see their ministries grow. So thank you so much for everything you do. And we will give you another report in about a month. Thank you.